Ladies and gentlemen, it is story time. Honey, listen. Okay, so today, before I get into this story, today I went and got my nails cut down and I had some groceries and all of that stuff. I had told y'all that before. So today I decided I was going to go ahead and clean up because I work all week, so I want to catch up like my laundry and all this other stuff. So y'all got to excuse that part. This story, I was like 17. I had a male friend. He was my friend, but we grew up together like from the age of 12 to about 20. Well, I was 17, but I was 17 in the 12th grade because I was 17 and a half in the 12th grade because I got held back in the 7th grade because I was born with asthma. So I stayed in the hospital a lot, so they held me back. Okay. But anywho, my friend, we're going to call him Tim. Okay, me and Tim was really close. We was best friends. We played video games and everything. Okay, so Tim and I, we had government together. And we was going to Longfellow, which was our alternative school. Because, I wasn't bad, but I was, bad, but I wasn't bad. But anyway, Tim's dad had 7 boys. All 7 of them stayed with him. He had one daughter and she stayed with her mother. Well, his dad, while him raising them, they was just like we was, because my mom had 3 girls and 1 boy. So they kept the house clean. There wasn't no running in and out of his house. He meant business and all this other stuff. Now, keep in mind, I was always tall, big-breasted. I have never really had a stomach. It's just I got a stomach, but not a stomach, but it's a stomach. But I always had a big ass because I just had a big ass, child. And man's, whatever. Anywho, so his dad watched us grow up together. His dad was like real strict, but his dad was like handsome as fuck, like for real. Like handsome. Okay, so fast forward, me and him was walking one day and we had walked to his house. We walked from my house to his house. His dad was at home. So what we did was we walked. He had to go get something. He was going to walk me back to my house. When I got in his house, his dad was there, but his dad's girlfriend was there. So when I walked in, she was like, who is that? Like that, and Tim's dad automatically checked her. I mean, he got her all the way together. He was like, that's his friend. They've been friends for the longest. He was like, Miss Monica, he said, you come on in here, baby. He said, you can have a seat. He was like, hey, get up out that chair since you got so much to talk about. You sit over there. Monica, you sit right here by me. I'm looking like, wait, what? Now keep in mind, he's all dark chocolate. Real wavy hair, dark chocolate. Boy, he was like, listen. Okay, so he had to be like 33, 34. Okay, so I go and I sit down. This lady is mean mugging me. I mean, she in my face like, bitch. Okay, this is my man, ho. Okay. Now, keep in mind, all the girls in the neighborhood, now Tim stayed like 7 or 8 blocks away from my house. But all the girls in the neighborhood had stood around with him and all of his brothers. Now, the word around the neighborhood was that, King Dongs. Everybody was King Dong. Everybody was dongs. Everybody had dongs. Ding dong, ring ding dong. Okay. So, I never seen Tim like that. I never thought like that because we grew up together and we was actually friends. But his dad had watched me grow up, and by me being more developed than normal, you know what I'm saying, he watched me grow up. So every now and again he'll make a little comment like, you look real nice and this and this woo. Now keep in mind, Monique had already told me, like, Monica, she was like, she was like, you got to kind of back off of him. She was like, because his dad, so for some reason, his dad, every time I see him, he asks me about you. I'm like, what? She was like, yeah. She was like, I got to talk to you. Monique. So Monique came to me the next day and she was like, Monica, she was like, listen. She was like, I know that you trust him and all this other stuff. She said, but I got this feeling that all of a sudden he keep taking you to his house when his dad is there. She was like, Monica, you got to remember, niggas ain't shit. Like that. I'm like, why do you say that? She was like, because she was like, every time I see this man, he always asks about you. So I turned 18. When I turned 18, we had a little get together on the porch or whatever. We danced to Chubb Rock. Bow, bow. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Anywho, his dad pulled up. We thinking that his dad pulled up to come pick them up because it was like 3 of them that was over there. But we was all sitting on the porch. Mary King, the coochie police, she wasn't letting shit happen anyway. Because listen, Mary King was on our ass. She couldn't be no hoe in her house. What the hell? What? If anybody start having sex, listen, everybody would have to go to Planned Parenthood. If Monique had sex, Planned Parenthood, everybody had to get damn coochie check. Everybody had to go coochie check because somebody was doing an ass. keep in mind, we had a porch full of girls and a porch full of dudes. Well, it was maybe about 11 people on our porch that day. So his dad pulled up. So when his dad pulled up, my mom came out the door like, what the fuck is you doing in front of my house? Pull that goddamn car from in front of my house. My mom clocked it. Boom. He gets out the car. When he gets out the car, he got a dozen roses and he got $200. He walked up on the porch and he gave it to me for my birthday. I'm like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Tim turns to me. He was like, Mike, that was a surprise I wanted to tell you about. But meanwhile, when we was in school, every time we get into class together, because we only had government together. Every time we get into class together, he was like, you know, Micah, he was like, you know, my dad is a cool guy, and this is this is this. I'm not paying that shit no attention, because I'm just thinking he talk about his dad like I talk about my mom. I'm thinking, okay. He like, yeah, you know, my dad, he ain't fucking around with that lady. You know that lady? Remember that lady that was over the house? He really ain't with her, Monica. He likes somebody else. He likes somebody else. He was like, so you can catch my bus, you can just walk you home from my house. This is okay. So we graduate. We graduated, or whatever the case may be. We was drinking, or whatever the case may be. Now, keep in mind, me and him grew up together from the age of 12 to 20. I had just turned 18. Fully grown, fully developed, is going down. Okay, boom. He like, Monica, he was like, you know what? He was like, by you being 18, why don't you come over to my house and spend the night? He said, I'll ask Mary King if you can come over there and spend the night. He was like, you just spent the night before. He was like, why don't you just come over here and spend the night? I'm like, thinking like, I'm so stupid. I start think about it now. He was trying to think, listen, Jesus, what the, wait till I see him. Anywho, so I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. I packed me a bag. I packed a bag, but see, I had spent the night over there before. Nothing going on. Because we wasn't attracted to each other. We just wasn't. You know what I'm saying? So I packed my bag or whatever the case may be. I get to his house. So once I get to his house, I get to their house. They having a barbecue and all this other stuff. We drinking and whatever the case may be. His dad is pouring drinks. Now, when it's about his dad pouring drinks, he pouring them about this much. He poured me like this much. I'm like, damn. You know what I'm saying? So, but I ain't drinking it. I'm pouring it over the ledge. I ain't stupid. You know what I'm saying? No, fuck all that. But I was the only one that spent the night that night. My friend from around the corner, she spent the night because Mary King wasn't going for that shit, okay? Mary King had to have a FBI right there for the coot, okay? You ain't giving no coot. No, ain't nobody getting no cooch, okay? Not with Mary King on the watch. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that. Okay, so anywho, it comes time for everybody to wind down. Everybody gets to the shower, even his dad. Now, keep in mind, I said he had 7 boys. But he was really strict. He wasn't going for that bullshit fucking in his house. He wasn't going for that shit. Okay, so everybody started. We had all made a pallet in the living room. Mary King ain't stupid. She sent me with the biggest pajamas that you could ever find. Listen, the pants came up to my damn bra line, so you couldn't see nothing. Okay, by Tim's dad making all the drinks, and some of the people, everybody, the kids and stuff, we was all falling asleep. Now, we all 18, so that was considered grown. Okay, so I'm sitting there. His dad like, hey, Monica, he was like, I'm going to pull the bed out on the couch. He was like, because I know you got asthma. He was like, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that you buy the air. I'm like, okay, now everybody's on the pallet over here. The couch bed is over there. You know what I'm saying? Way back in the cut. Up there. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So I'm like, okay, it's cool. Nicole like, Micah, I'm going to come over there and sleep with you. She's like, I don't want to be down here. And then everybody laughing, we joking and stuff. It is really innocent. Nobody's thinking about sex. Nobody's doing nothing. Okay. Soon as Nicole said, Monica, you going to sleep over here? He was like, no, you're not. He was like, you're not going to sleep on my couch. He was like, Monica going to sleep over there by herself. He's like, you're going to sleep right on over there with the rest of the girls. And this is this. He's like, because, you know, I ain't going. Night goes, oh, Tim comes back over there where I'm at. He like, Monica, he was like, you know, my dad is real nice and this, and this. Now, I told y'all in the first part of the story. Dong, 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 dong. Okay. So, this the dad dong, okay? Okay, so, he like 35. I'm 18. He 35. Okay. So, I'm not thinking anything of it. He's steadily throwing his daddy up in my motherfucking face. Like, yeah, you know, my dad this, my dad that. You know, my dad got money. You know, my dad this, my dad that. But they love their dad. They would do anything for their dad. But I didn't know anything that was going on. They knew. The boys knew. But I didn't know. So, okay, everybody started falling asleep, even including me. So, the bed couch is out. I'm not sleeping the long way. I'm sleeping horizontally. And so I can catch the air and this. And plus, I can see everybody. And they can see me. The lights is still on, Jesus. Thank God the lights was on. But the lights was on. Okay, so we have been drinking. Now, by us drinking, everybody is like buzzing real good and we all like laid back in the cut. The lights go off. I fall asleep. When I wake up, I feel somebody in the couch bed behind me. Now keep in mind, I'm facing the crowd. I feel somebody behind me. I'm not thinking, I'm still like drunk. I feel somebody underneath my pajamas. Not the bottom part, the top part. I'm like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like trying to look down at the hands so I can see. By him being dark skinned, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. He all underneath my shirt is going down, girl. Oh my Jesus. It's going down. I'm like, oh my God. He in my ear like, Monica, you really gonna like this. You really gonna like this. He was like, just relax, baby. He's like, I've been waiting on this for a long time. My heart beating fast. I'm sweating and shit. I'm trying to signal to Nicole. Nicole passed out. Everybody is asleep. He's steadily in my ear like, Monica, you know, this is meant to happen. And this, I just need you to relax, baby. I got you. He was like, I got you. He said, I'm going to show you the difference between my sons and me. Now, keep in mind, Mary King wasn't having it. She wasn't, So if I had sex maybe like twice. So at the end of the day, it's the third time. Okay, so he's holding on to the bed frame, on that bed couch, with his leg, that tied my leg up and, you know, got us in position. By this time, I am begging for my whole life, like, oh my God, Jesus. I'm like, oh my God, whatever I did, I said, I am so sorry, I am so sorry. He was like, ain't no sense in being sorry, baby. He said, it is too late. Soon as he said it was too late, it was over, okay? All I knew is that he had his hand over my lips and he wasn't holding them. Now keep in mind, I'm still on my side. He's behind me. All this is going on. And everybody I can still see everybody, but they can't see him. He done gave me the work for like 45 minutes. Now keep in mind, by him being 35, I'm 18. He is the king of the dongs and all this other stuff. My heart is beating fast. I'm thinking to myself, bitch, when you get free, you get the fuck out of there. So I'm like, oh my God. He is steadily telling me like, I'm going to give you this. I'm going to do this for you. Da, da, da. You ain't got to worry about them whole ass niggas. Blah, blah, blah. Moves the food, scoop the bop. Okay, so by this time, he's done. Boom. I'm laying there. I'm shaking. I'm like, oh my God. I grabbed my shit. It's like maybe about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm grabbing my shit. He like, baby, he's like, you're not going to leave. He was like, because if you leave, it's going to look suspicious. He was like, don't leave. I'm crying by this time. I'm on their porch. I am crying. I'm fully blown crying. Boom. He like, Monica, he was like, if this was meant to happen, he was like, I know you felt it. The next day come. I go home. Now, all that day, Tim had been calling my phone. He called my house phone. Because back then, we didn't have cell phones. We had beepers, but we didn't have cell phones. He paged me and whatever. I'm not answering. I done blocked it. It's going down. I done shut shit off. I'm a nervous wreck. I go to Monique. I'm like, Monique, oh my God, it's just terrible. I tell Monique what happened. Monique like, oh, hell no, that's it. I'm going to take my motherfucking ass over there. I got some words for his motherfucking ass. She was like, don't tell Mary King. I'm like, I'm not. And she was like, but I think back then they thought, I think it wasn't a bad thing. I don't know if it was bad. I don't know. It was just too much for TV. Shit. Okay, so I stopped being his friend. When I say I cut this motherfucker off, I cut him off. His dad would drive past my house and stuff like this. I'd be walking to the store. He'd pull up. All this other stuff. He was like sending money over to the house by my friends and all this other stuff. He even had Nicole all in my motherfucking ear like, Micah, you know, he ended up going over there, of course. And she went over there and she told him off or whatever the case may be. He ended up telling Monique like, you know, your sister's grown and this, and you would rather her had a been with somebody that she know than somebody that she didn't know. Monique like, you a dumb motherfucking pervert and all this other stuff. She was like, that's why she ain't your friend, your son's friend no more, and this. So mom had asked me one day, she was like, Monica, why don't you stop talking to that boy? I didn't want to tell my mom what had happened, but I wanted to tell her, but I felt some type of way because I knew that if I had told her, my mom would still be in jail right now. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I think because me and his son was like really close, I think he thought that was his way in. But it totally blew the relationship between me and Tim, because when I tell you I never spoke to this boy again, I did not even, my eyes never connected with his ever again. I couldn't believe it. It was just terrible.